Don't say, I am a problem solver. You're not a problem solver of all problems. Smart life is the way to go. This is another video for something that you really need in your capacity to be successful in your life. We have spoken about this, but we have not gone into the detail. And I need to tell you about this today, and that is how to conduct an interview for a job. In all the past videos, most of them, I have focused on maybe having your own business, but not everybody wants to have their own business. Some wants to be employed by a proper company. And this is the way to get into that interview and to win the interview to get the job. The first thing that you have to do when you get that notice, when you get the ad, is you have to prepare for the interview. You have to study the job. You must do more than just what the notice says, what the ad says. You must go onto the website. You must ask people. You must understand the job, because during the interview, you could be asked about the job to see whether you are really so interested in the job that you actually studied what it is about. The second thing is, you must dress properly. Don't dress weird. Don't dress too modern. Don't dress too this way or that way. Just dress cordially, officially, proper. Don't overdress. Because if there are two candidates who has the same abilities and they have to choose the one, they will choose the one that was dressed properly. Be that one. Although you might like clothes for something else, and you might like to project some subculture or whatever you want to do, not with an interview. It doesn't work like that. And then is that you have to align your job with your capabilities and your passion. See whether this is what you can do and want to do. In the long run, that is where your happiness and your success will be. When you are aligned with your abilities and your passion. Remember what I said about that earlier. Your passion is so important. When you have that, you already transmit the right energy to the interviewer, and he will feel that. The interviewer, he looks at you and he interviews you. There are three things they look about. The way that you present yourself, that you look. The way that you answer questions, and the way that you ask questions. That's it. Those three things. And inside those comes the energy with your subliminal communication, and he feels that. He can feel that you have the passion, you can do it. Never go into generalities such as, I'm a team player and I am a problem solver. That doesn't fly. It doesn't mean anything. It is worthless to say things like that. When you are there to describe yourself, be specific. Be specific on exactly, if you are a team player, say, I work in this team and this is how we work. I solve these problems. Don't say, I am a problem solver. You're not a problem solver of all problems, but you solve those problems, and show the instances where you did. Never say, I don't have weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. We are human beings. We're born with weaknesses. It's not about the weakness. When they ask you about your weakness, say, yes, I have weaknesses. But this is how I counter my weaknesses. I tend to like to sleep late, but I have to have 2 alarms to wake me up in time so that I'm in time for work. They know everybody has weaknesses. If you say you don't have weaknesses, it means that you are lying. Immediately, it already has a detrimental effect on your character, because you have now shown that you are not growing anymore. You're not willing to learn anymore. We all have weaknesses. When you answer questions, be aware not to answer too short and not to answer too long. Be precise to the point. Don't waffle. Don't just talk to fill the conversation. But don't talk longer than between 1 and 2 minutes. Then you start boring the interviewer and you lose him, and when you lose him, you're gone. You can just walk out. Answer the question short, enough, but not too short. Between 1 and 2 minutes will your answers be. Remember that now. 1 and 2, and to the point. Okay, and then one thing that you shouldn't ask is, what's in it for me? You should know now what's in it for you, because you should have studied the company, and you should know that they give salary, they give annual bonus, they give non-incident bonus, they give an annual leave allowance. If you go into the field, they will give you personal protection equipment. There will be opportunities to grow in your career there, and you can find maybe an idea what the salary should be. But still you would want to know what's in it for you, but you can't ask it like that. You have to wait for the next step. So keep that back. Otherwise it seems like you're just interested in yourself and not in the company itself. And then, whilst the interview is ongoing, never look at your resume. You should know your resume. You wrote it. You should know every letter of the word. It should be lying there dead still. If you look at your resume, it creates suspicion that you might be saying things that are not really the truth, and you are conniving there. You don't want that suspicion even to come close to this. So know your resume by heart. You don't look at it. Turn it upside down. You talk as if you can see it. You talk about it. You have to gain the advantage during the interview. And that's what I said. You have to prepare yourself. You have to know exactly what the job is about and how you align with this. These two have to come in like that, and you have to demonstrate that within the questions and answers that you do. You have to ask, when they ask you a question, ask insightful questions. Those questions you can already determine before you go to the interview. Specific questions on something that you would like to know. That demonstrates that you've studied the job, you have insight in the job, you have interest in the job, you have the energy to do that. And then, when asked about it, convert this conversation about you into your performance of the past. If they ask you, show them whatever they ask, how you did it in the past. But you have to know to say, at that time I did that, at that time I did that, at that time I did that. You have some weaknesses, which we spoke about, but you have to demonstrate how you use your strengths to overcome your weaknesses when you are asked about it. Remember in the previous video I spoke about the SWOT analysis, strong points, weak points, opportunities and threats. We are now there with the strong points and the weak points. Your strong points must annihilate your weak points. Whenever weak points you are, you must have that. And then, when the whole interview is done, then there's something you can say, what are the next steps? When you ask that question, be very cautious on how you ask, first how you ask the question, and have a look at how the interviewer reacts. If he acts in a vague, non-committal way, you know you didn't make it. No way. If he comes to you and he says, okay, the next step will be that there will be another round of interviews, and we will schedule that within a week or 2 weeks or something like that, and then you can ask me, is there anything more about my background or my skills, experience that you would like to add to this? He will tell you or not tell you and say, we will come back to you, but we are happy, we will contact you now for the next interview. Then you know. Then the tension is away, then the concern is away, then you know. If he's vague about it, or that already at that time, you know that you didn't make it. Remember now what I said. They tax you on 3 things. What you look like, what you answer questions like, how you ask questions. Your intellectual capacity, your verbal capacity to do that. Make sure that you can do that properly. And what they don't have on the tick box is that energy, that communication that you transfer to them that shows the passion and the interest that you have in the job. This is the way that you have to conduct your interview. This is the way that you will have the advantage to gain the job. Now go with that. When you have your opportunity to apply for a job, and prepare properly and make sure that you have the job, because you are the one selling yourself to that company, and you have to make sure that what you are selling is the best they can have for what they require. I hope you understand this, and I hope this will help you to make a great success of your interview. Thank you.